Capricorn, welcome to your in-depth reading for yours and theirs. I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. We're going to build a baseline for you and your person, clarify, throw down some oracles and charms, and we're going to do all that under 50 minutes. We can do it. We can do it. What's going on, please, for Capricorn and their person? Show me Capricorn and their person. Show me Capricorn and this person. So, common question. Christina, does it have to be about a significant other, love interest, spouse, lover type situation? No, it does not. Yours and theirs is simply me describing a dynamic that you may have with someone else, and that could be anybody. Family, friend, co-worker. I don't know. Virgo got a double. Ah, they got the bang for their buck. They had me check in on 2 people. What's going on, please, for Capricorn and the person? But no, that's it. Yes, I do read from the point of view of love, as that's most people's general interest in yours and theirs. But yeah, you apply it as it applies to you. That's it. There you go. So, basic rules apply. Take it resonates, leave it does not. Reverse energies as it applies, more so with yours and theirs, as energy interchange and exchange is real, rapid, and fluid. That's it. And if for any reason you find yourself becoming increasingly frustrated, upset, or feeling alienated, I want you to separate yourself from the message, stop it, pause it, watch it later, or don't watch it at all. I advocate free will. Okay? You don't have to watch anything that upsets you. One of 2 things is happening. The message just isn't for you, and you're frustrated. That's it. That's usually the simplest explanation. Just because it says Capricorn doesn't mean it's for you. It's still a general collective reading. It's not a one-to-one, guys. Sometimes they just don't fit, in which case check out the placements. Not a big deal. And then there's the other scenario. We find ourselves becoming increasingly frustrated, upset, or even pissed off because in some way it's vibrating with us, no matter how small, and it makes us uncomfortable. Uncomfortable truths are to be had in real tarot, yeah? In which case, I would still advise you the same, to pause it. However, I would challenge you to finish watching it, because there's something in there for you. Okay? Alright, there you go. Show me Capricorn and their person, please. Show me. Show me Capricorn and their person, please. We're going to start with your side, but as I said, reverse as you need to. Okay. Okay, the Sun, beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune. And the... Sorry, they have that old-fashioned script on this deck, so I was like... Yeah, that's the Knight of Cups. Wow. The Sun, sunshine, happiness, Wheel of Fortune, time has passed, things are changing, your heart space is opening up in a particular direction, feeling soft, romantic, vulnerable, I don't know. The Knights are responsible for carrying stuff outside of us. So I almost always default to that's coming from you. Okay? And if you're receiving it, then we'll see. Alright? Let's see. The Magician, the Hanged Man, Justice. Yeah. Okay, they have a lot of energy attached to them. The Magician, the Hanged Man, the Justice. They are manifesting, but here's the trick. Oh, what's the oldest trick in the book? What is that, Christina? They have to know that they want it. Otherwise, I'd say they're ripe for the picking. I don't know who this is. Perhaps there's a delay on this person's entry. Could be brand new. I don't know. I know they want something. But with the Hanged Man there suggests it's a delayed manifestation, or they just don't know that they want it yet. What it is, we shall see. Let's see if there's any shared. There may not be. Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Fool. I'm just seeing your side, honey. I'm just seeing your energy in Death. Overview. Something's transforming. You are transforming. Something has ended. Something else is beginning, unfolding. I don't know. Could be just a very strong transformative time for you right now. And understanding your Sun, what makes you happy, before you can move your energy forward. The shared space isn't always shared. Sometimes I just see a singular person. Right now I'm seeing a strong sense of focus on the self, self-worth, self-value, listening to your intuition. Pretty intense stuff, guys. And the Fool, having that kind of spiritual energy to open up, and that's twice. So it's consistent. Being so brave to open up into a new world. Fresh eyes, fresh heart, fresh spirit. The determination of new. It's not fake. Everybody says they want new, but very rarely do they live through it. Do they allow the energy to flow through it? I think I'm saying that for you. I'm hoping that you are indeed allowing, if that's what you want, fresh. Okay? And you say you're ready for it. You've done your transformation work. You've let things end that needed to end, so you can open up into beginnings, healing, all that good stuff. So if that's true, that would explain a lot of what I'm seeing here today. Okay? Strong sense of, I know me, I know my worth, I know my intuition. Let's do it. Let's blast open into new. I don't know. It could be that you're showing me energy to reapproach an old subject. I can't rule that out either. It's interesting what's going on here. What indeed is going on here. Yeah, death. Let's start with death, please. Show me death in this overview. Ace of Swords, Knight of Wands, Two of Wands. Some knowledge that you've had has changed you a great deal, has shaped you a great deal. And something having ended, you accept it as truth. You've thought about it a lot. Your energy for something is over, or someone is over, or a situation's over. What you used to show passion and intensity towards it, a certain movement, a certain flow. You stopped waiting for it, or you stopped looking towards it. Okay. There's something here about the realization of it that has allowed you to open up and transform. I, Capricorn, no longer wait on this. I, Capricorn, have actively chosen to cut this out. I have chosen to face this particular subject. I understand my energy is no longer pointed in that particular direction. It's a rough cut. I don't know how old it is. It's looking pretty succinct in my eyes. In other words, you've come to peace with it, or you've come to terms with it. You've accepted it as over, specifically giving it any more of your time, energy, or attention. That's over. There's a lot of waiting elements attached to this. Waiting for signs of life. Waiting for you to give more of your energy to a situation, place, circumstance, or person. That waiting period is over. That sense of I'm waiting on permission for this to receive my energy. That's over. And it's accepted as fact. It's accepted as fact with the Ace of Swords. You don't dispute it. It's looking like you likely cut this of your own will and accord. Okay? And it's like I no longer point my energy towards this, whatever this is. Okay? And it lended you to a period of transformation. Not all death is scary, guys. Sometimes it's necessary and needed for our own betterment. That's what transformation is. I started out here, and it was a good start. It was a small thing. It was a fledgling thing. But as I participated in it, I understood increasingly that it wasn't for me, or it didn't fit me, or it just wasn't right for me. And I have to choose to transform in order to force myself to grow up, move on, move forward. Okay? And that's all I'm seeing for you here. And I know it's a rough translation, but there's the dead stop. Dead stop. My energy will no longer go towards this. That's it. Whether it's passionate, your enthusiasm, or just the overall sense of your time, energy, and effort, it's all in there. That's up to you. Okay, but the idea is waiting to open up to this is no more. Or waiting for it to come to me, no more. It's done. Okay? I allow it. I allow that to pass through me, and I allow it to transform me the way it's supposed to. Show me that sun, please. Show me that sun, please. Show me that sun. Show me that sun. Show me that sun, please. Show me that sun. What's the sun, please? Temperance, Wheel of Fortune twice for you, Five of Pentacles. Yep, time has passed. Yeah, so this wasn't right around the corner. This wasn't last week. I know what you're going to say. I did that. Guys, the energy is where it is. And you are showing me transformation principles, acceptance principles. Time has passed, and here's the break. The break hurt. Wheel of Fortune's here not once but twice. I understood this was my sunshine. I understood this made me happy. It made me feel really good. But there's an acknowledgement in me that I had to break from it, or it wasn't for me, or I outgrew it, or I understood that it was just a bunch of immature energy running around. I don't know. But the idea is that you've acknowledged it, and how you've interpreted that energy is entirely up to you. You're showing me whatever joy and enthusiasm you had is gone. It was abandoned, and that it had to be, and that time has passed, and that you are healing from it. That doesn't mean it feels good. That doesn't mean you're over the moon about it. No, it's a bad, hard day when you lose your son. I really understood this made me happy. I understood this made me happy. I wanted to put myself into it. But for one reason or another, whatever those reasons are, you weren't allowed to, and you always felt like you were in a position of waiting. You know? And it was time to jump in there, you jumped in there. And then I think you stopped waiting for moments to jump in there, with engaging with whatever you thought made you happy. So there's your transformation principle. I think whatever it is you thought made you happy had transformed. The situation was such that it added up that it no longer made you happy. Or is a son that simply would not sustain. Time has passed and healing principles have applied. Wheel of Fortune is shifting again. Wheel of Fortune, please. That Wheel of Fortune. Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. I don't want to hear about I was dealing with or I'm dealing with. The Capricorn I'm looking at says you're not dealing with that at all, whatever it is. Okay? I really want people to say if they've moved on or they cut something out, I want them to mean it and stop being like, I'm dealing with. No, you're not. Not the one I'm looking at. You're dealing with that is over. This Capricorn has digested it, the truths of it, the hard truths of it, the pain of it, and is healing from it. Five of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles. Your self-deception is something that you have been working through. There's no pretty way to address the Five of Swords or the Seven of Swords, guys. Don't take it as an accusation or judgment on my part. There isn't any. It's the cards. Okay. Five of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune. Time has passed. You keep showing me what you have learned, what you have learned, what you have learned, what you've been working through, what you've been working through, what you've been working through. So this has not been passive activity for you. This has been very active activity. Time has spent in many ways. And in that sense of recovering from pain and everything that you were learning about it after the fact. You were learning about putting your time, energy, and effort into your heart or what you understood was love. Okay? And it was deceptive. In some way you were deceiving yourself about the active contributive effort, what you were putting into it and what you thought it was about, or what you were receiving, what you really thought it was about, or you convinced yourself it was about. Again, there's no pretty way to address what we tell ourselves. The lies, specifically. You know? I don't know which way that lie was running, honey. What you thought you were working towards, love, and you really wanted to believe it. Or you thought what you were receiving was love, and you really wanted to believe it. But it's something you have to work through, and it's going to take a while to pick through those particular pieces, but nevertheless you're doing it. Nevertheless, you're getting reacquainted with your heart space. Nevertheless, you're getting reacquainted with value of good work, the good work that you put into yourselves, other people, situations, places, and circumstances. Okay? That way we're not always having to second guess ourselves in future when we're connecting with people, and we don't have to tell ourselves lies. Okay, we know something is true or it's not. You want to be in a position where you don't ever have to be in that position again. You're misconstruing what you're saying and doing and why, or what somebody else is doing and why. That you don't have to believe lies from you or other people. That's the space you want to get into. Or in other words, you just won't fall for it again, or you won't participate in something like that again. You know? You don't have to cover yourself up in lies about what you're feeling, why you're doing it, or what somebody else is doing, or why they're doing it. You shouldn't have to. You know, when you love something or someone and it loves you back, there are no excuses involved. It's just felt. No need to justify about time, distance, and space, and attention. Well, this didn't happen, and the other thing, because we're this many miles apart, and it doesn't really matter anyway, because when they say this, I believed it, even though they said that 3 weeks ago, and I haven't heard from them since. But you know, all that crap. All the rationalization, when it's true love, you don't have to do that. It just flows. And there's no need to feel insecure, right? So we're learning all these things. So again, you are showing me heavy processing over multiple subjects when it comes to this particular lesson. It was obviously a hugely transformative experience, and one that's going to teach you and shape you and influence you as you continue to go along. Okay? There you go. I think we really, really were quite convinced about what we thought made us happy. Turns out we were not correct, right? Or we really wanted to believe it. Show me that Knight of Cups, please. Let's see you opening up. It's looking like you would like to express yourself to somebody. Show me that Knight of Cups, please. Show me that Knight of Cups. Show me that Knight of Cups. Show me that Knight of Cups, please. Oh, I've got to do a better job about it's. I have to keep my. I'm 5'9". Okay, so I mean I'm not that tall, but you know, for a woman, anyway, it is considered tall. So it's. I have to do this thing with the frame shot with head to table ratio, right? And that means having my chair lowered. So I've hit, and it kills my back sometimes, because I like to sit up tall and straight, but I often find myself slouching down. You know, it's just I like to be higher. Is my point. Queen of Swords, Nine of Cups. Slowly but surely, you're finding a way back into wish fulfillment and what makes you happy. You have to get really honest with yourself about: are you being honest with you? Are you moving in the right direction? Are you allowing yourself to open up in the right spaces to the right people? Sometimes it's tempting to take it to a headspace and question yourself. I'm going to really push on you to go with what you're feeling and not what you talk yourself into or out of, because that's how we get into Five of Swords spaces. So I see you wanting to connect emotionally with somebody. I don't know who it is. We're about to take a look at them. I just don't want you to get in that space where you overthink it, because that's where you're going to make room for Five of Swords again. Okay, so you Capricorn I'm looking at says you've learned too much and you've come too far to get caught up in that. So please do not allow yourself to your head to take over what your heart's experiencing. You have a very simple energy in you. Nine of Cups, the Knight of Cups. 9 and Knight. Both cups. That something here is feeling right. Something's feeling right. And you're wanting to express how something's feeling right to somebody else, but you're kind of afraid to. I know what that is. It's that energy of this is what happened, and I'm afraid it could happen again. I don't want that fear to overcome you. Okay? Again, it either feels right or it doesn't. And if you have to talk yourself in and out of anything, then that means the energy is not correct. Okay? It either feels right because it's for you, and it's flowing through you, and you want to experience it, and you want to express it, or you don't. That's it. You don't need to pull yourself conversation real quick. What do we think about this? No, fuck that. How do we feel about this? Okay. All right, let's check out this person, please. The Magician, the Hanged Man, and Justice. Show me that Magician, please. Show me that Magician. Show me that Magician. Death. Seven of Cups. Strength. Not quite sure what this person's manifesting, to be honest. I don't quite know what they're manifesting. Perhaps they needed to transform as well, particularly what they thought they felt. One moment. Show me that Hanged Man, please. Show me that Hanged Man, please. They're manifesting so, but they need to know what the hell they're manifesting. If they don't, they're going to screw it up. They're showing me 9 of Cups as well. They needed to transform. I don't know who the hell this is, but they're showing me if they want something with you, they got to step up and change their energy towards you. In other words, it needs to transform. They keep saying, I want, great. What do you want? I don't know. That's why there's a delay. Huge delay on this person. They need it. They're not ready to come forward. Because in order in order for transformation to take place, you have to know that you want it, kind of like you did. You said you had to transform, okay? Because something was hurting you, or you misunderstood it, or you put your value into the wrong love, or you're convinced, etc. We've already been over it. They're showing me they need to transform their feelings, in other words, actually understand them, because they're, as far as I can tell, they're just blind manifesting without direction. They just say, I want at the spiritual level, at the desire level, but they don't seem to know what that means. So they need to transform whatever they think they understood their feelings for you to be out of this fuzzy option thing into something more solid. Otherwise, it's never going to come through. And there is a strong understanding here before that can happen. They need a serious time out to understand that they are unhappy and that they are disappointed. And if they want to be not unhappy, okay, they need to get better acquainted with what they want to see and or experience when it comes to you. They're showing me high levels of desire, and I want to pull that Capricorn in, but I don't know what my feelings are. That's the very thing they need to transform if they want to manifest anything properly. So they have a timeout period. They've been given a huge grace period, and I hope that they're using it to their advantage to kind of suspend everything they think they know or they think they feel and just allow themselves to sort that shit out. Because the 7 of Cups thing, not an option in love. It's not an option. It's not an option. It's not some casual thing. It's not some light thing. It's not some, how do I feel about this exactly? That's exactly what they need to transform, and it's going to take strength to do it. In other words, it's going to take guts to actually look at one's feelings, to feel them, and to define them. This person having a fuzzy emotional approach when it comes to manifestation isn't working. They need to get really fucking specific. Okay? And they do, I see it to their credit, to this person's credit, they are trying to dial that in. They are still showing me manifestation, but it's been delayed because they need to know what makes them happy. They need to know what their own sense of love of self is. And knowing that they're just unhappy or disappointed in this connection isn't enough. It's not going to fly. It's just not going to fly. Anybody can have a 4 of Cups and a 7 of Cups. Well, I'm kind of disappointed how that turned out. Well, we didn't take the time to develop our feelings or understand them or voice them or define them. So yeah, you're generally going to be unhappy. So this kind of general desire to manifest isn't going to mean shit unless we get focused about what we want. So to say that it's non-active in the 3D world is an understatement. They're undergoing what looks like, I hope, is a very strong emotional transformation process. You've undergone one as well. It had more to do with addressing your sense of doubts and what it is you were told yourself you were working towards, and whatever it is you told yourself your feelings were towards this, what you were actually putting into it in terms of time, energy, and effort, and possibly even telling yourself whatever you had to tell yourself in regards to their feelings, which as far as I know, you never knew. Because they couldn't define them, never mind you. Let's see it. Let's see if we can balance this shit out. Show me justice. Show me justice, please. Show me justice, please. I respect manifestation. But if you don't know what the hell it's literally going to say, I want this feeling with Capricorn. It may not happen, but you have to know that you want it. If you want to have a chance at hell at all in getting it, or pulling it towards you, or abiding by the laws of attraction, you have to know what your feelings are. And when I say this person has entered a grace period to understand those things, that's exactly what I mean. So I hope that they're using it, because it is going from a vague, I really want something, but I'm too afraid to say what my emotions are, to define them, to I'm honing in on them. I'm honing in on them. And I'm trying to suspend any emotional prejudices I might have about the situation. And to understand, I really want this for me. Show me justice, please. Show me justice. Page of Cups, justice. Tower. Very strong sense in this person to balance things. Wow. Wow. I'm not quite sure what they're expressing. It's a bit of a surprise. It's taking some nerve to express this. It might even take them by surprise of how much they needed to do this, or they felt they needed to do this. So that's why you're expressing yourself to this person. But you're confused. You don't know if you can believe it. I see. That makes sense. You want to believe it, but you already had a little problem with that back here, right? Yeah. We got trust issues. We do. That's honest. It's extremely honest. So if we were connected to somebody who could not express themselves honestly, or they didn't know how, that honesty looks like it's coming. There's quite a bit in there. So that's why you're showing me. I don't know if I can, I don't know what to think about this. I do know parts of you feel soothed. The Knight of Cups and the Nine of Cups, it makes you feel like perhaps you could accept this and have love for it even. But you're a little scared. It's like, I don't know if I can accept all this, if this is the truth, and it's looking like it's the truth, and it's kind of a whopper. Well, it looks like they figured out what they want. It's quite a surprise. You went from shut down, processing, and dealing with it, to here's quite a bit. What you were looking for, and possibly then some. I don't get surprised too often. I really don't. It's like I was going to say, I hope they're using this grace period they have, this interim, to their advantage. To dig deep. To transform. To understand what the hell they're feeling. And only then can you properly manifest. And when something's delivered here, justice, not once but twice, Page of Cups, it's a very, with the Tower, it's a forceful admission. It's almost a shocking one. It's a surprise. It's quite a surprise. And you're kind of over there wondering, I don't even know if I can believe all this. But you are pleased by it, so I know part of your heart is soothed with it. Yeah, there's going to be some trust issues on you receiving all this information, naturally. One of the things you had to clean up was how much you were willing to believe lies for yourself or someone else about the feelings. Specifically, you can't believe how much time, energy, and effort you put into this love, or that you felt for it. Perhaps you thought it made no difference. It did. Let's see, there's Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Fool. Show me this, please. Show me that Queen of Pentacles, please. Knowing your worth. Of course, knowing your value. Loving yourself. Putting yourself before others. Show me that Queen of Pentacles, please. Strength, Page of Pentacles, the Page of Wands. Yep. Yeah, this is something you had to do, you know? Be strong for you. Put the energy and investment back into you. Some of you are feeling that acutely now in Leo season. Like this person's kind of experiencing something acutely now, I think. But the focus is 100% on you. I don't see it going outside of you, you know. This is what taking care of yourself is, giving yourself the space to grieve and to learn your lessons and confront yourself with the more difficult ones. That is part of self-care, guys. It's not about going to the spa or getting your nails done. Self-care means doing the hard work and looking at difficult things because you know what your worth and your value is. That way you don't repeat the mistake because you don't want to devalue yourself anymore, right? Yep. You had to put all the investment and all the interest and all the curiosity back into you, where it belongs. There you go. That was your lesson. How much you were putting into this love was devaluing you. If you had to lie to yourself, or if you feel that you were being deceived. Show me that High Priestess, please. Show me that intuition. Show me that intuition, please. I don't know that this is a bad person. I think they clearly, really strongly failed to understand what they wanted. They just knew that they wanted, or rather they felt they wanted, but they didn't know what. Right? And we know this, they're not supposed to be an option in love. That's what needed to be transformed. It wasn't some light decision to keep it on the surface. No. They had to get outside of this. That's what had to be transformed. And that took them strength to do that. To be so bold as to understand yourself and what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. And allow yourself to act and feel in accordance to it. The High Priestess, Ace of Swords, Two of Wands, the Chariot. Intuitively, you feel that you are moving towards something, your own particular truth, and that's guiding you as best. And I like that. I like that. It's one of my favorite combinations personally, is to see the High Priestess in conjunction with the Ace of Swords, the King of Swords, or the Queen of Swords, because it says you not only are you using your intellect, which we all should be, right? We're also using our feeling, the High Priestess. Those two are not mutually exclusive. They should be side by side. You should be using your truth, your intelligence, right? Your rational brain along with your intuitive heart, and between those two you can't go wrong. And that's just that's how you're moving, that's how you're navigating. And your intuition as well as your mind is telling you to navigate in a particular direction, and that is you, what best serves you. I agree. That's what knowing your self-worth is. Okay? And the more you put back into yourself, the stronger and clearer your vision gets about where you're supposed to head and why. All right? Now let's see that Fool. Let's see that Fool. See what happens when we do our hard work here? Show me that Fool. Show me that Fool, please. Show me that Fool, please. Show me the Fool. Show me the Fool. The High Priestess again, the Four of Pentacles, the Knights of Swords. Intuitively, you feel that there will come a time where you have to take action towards this thing. It still holds on to you. You still hold on to it. Let's be real. All right? You've done better about letting it go. But you also feel that there's a call-response system in you that says you might have to deal with this again in some way, in some shape. But you are trying to keep an open mind towards it. You're showing me a little bit of wariness here, of course. Once bitten, twice shy. That confusion, you are insistent upon cleaning it up as you move along. Trust your intuition about how you will choose to interact with this, again, when it presents itself. I do know you want to clear some things up. You feel that you can and that you're capable. I agree. And you're kind of approaching it in good faith. I see you digesting many truths at one time. Some of them you don't know, but you're listening. I trust that your intuition is here several times. I don't know that it's that they're trying to convince you so much of whatever their particular truth is that's so heavy. It's more like you're working to catch up to it, to process it. There's just so many things you didn't understand or know about the situation, and they're being filled in radically and fast at some point in the future. And I just see you trying to keep up with it intuitively, trying to trust it, trust what's being told to you. And you're trying to keep yourself open to it at the heart level. Okay? Because a part of you recognizes it's important. I see you taking a risk on just listening. And processing the information. What happens after that, I could not say. Putting the focus back into you, I agree with. Navigating by what you feel and what you know. Yes, I completely agree with this. It feels good. It feels correct. Many parts of you are back in working order. Like you had an elevator that was temporarily out of order for a while, right? It got back into working order. I do see you listening to this. You feel like you're supposed to. And you're having a hard time understanding it. But you are keeping your heart open towards it. The reason why I see you having a hard time understanding it is because of trust. Trust was a problem with this situation when you last encountered it. Especially if you are indeed confused about the time, energy, and effort you put into this and your motivation behind it. And it took you a long time to disentangle those truths. When somebody puts some heavy information on you that you weren't expecting or you didn't know it was like that, yeah, I can see where your swords are going to pop up. And it's like, what? But I still see you engaging in it. Bare minimum, you're listening. And I do see your heart being open towards them. It feels like a sympathetic response. One that's most likely based in love and care of that person. Okay? And your intuition's telling you that it's okay to open up in that way. That doesn't mean it's going to be happily ever after, guys. I'm just seeing what looks like a kind of report that you weren't necessarily expecting, but it's going to help answer a lot of questions. After that, what happens, I don't know. The bigger point here, and it always was, it was you. You getting back in tune and practice with what constitutes your sense of self and self-worth. And I mean really getting reacquainted with it so that you can trust yourself to move forward, and so you are. And that's just in the general sense. And then I do see you being the fool towards this person, but it's the idea of I'm willing to listen to you. And so in that way, in and of itself, yes, constitutes a risk. But it's one intuitively you feel is correct, and you also felt it was going to come back in some way. You were also correct. All I see you is listening, talking, and parts of you are soothed by what you hear. Other parts confuse you. It's just the stuff that you didn't know, I think. Apparently, it's a lot. King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, please know that you are secure, well-founded, well-grounded. I say this all the time for Earth signs. You will absolutely kill it in your 3D. Absolutely kill it in your 3D. I'm stable as hell. I'm King of Pentacles. I'm seat of my throne, seat of my household. I'm killing it. I'm so stable. Ah! And then All this other stuff you would never suspect is going on with you. The Emperor, I know, you're in control, babe. You are in control. You have so much more than you know or give yourself credit for. You're rich indeed. You are rich in community. You are rich in resources. You might actually be wealthy. You know, you're at the seat of your empire. Like I said, you're used to calling the shots. And so whatever this is to you must be deeply, deeply private. Because it's so different than who you are. Right? I strongly suspect not many people know what this scenario is. I really do. Yeah. Somebody here is lacking, yeah, somebody who's just kind of always afraid of their own independent nature, and that's just so opposite of... Don't get me wrong, there's one thing knowing that you are productive and wealthy and capable and steady, and then also knowing your sense of self-worth in terms of how you are loving and taking care of yourself. One does not necessarily assume the other at all. I've known emperors and kings, but that doesn't mean they know how to treat themselves well. Like I said, you can kill it in your 3D, be a big boss, be a big daddy. But when it comes to your private world, things can be an absolute fucking mess. But yeah, I think this is generally speaking who you are, and this is a very private matter in your life that not many people know about it. And whomever it is you're connecting to is kind of afraid to be independent or to think of their own or to act of their own or to feel of their own. The opposite of what you've shown me. Okay? The fear of independence, the fear of making a decision, the fear of standing on our own 2 feet and can I do this? Can I claim myself? Nine of Pentacles is very claiming. Anyone who's Nine of Pentacles didn't become a Nine of Pentacles by asking permission. They just do. Because it's right for them. And this person might have a hard time understanding what's right for them. Like, you had to become reacquainted with what it is to love and take care of yourself. Just because you're a King of Pentacles and the Emperor doesn't mean you automatically know how to do that. Right? I think this puts you in a position of remembering what your worth is. And not becoming like that person who doesn't seem to quite understand what their worth is or what they want. Okay. Apologies, I know that was a little bit more on the vague side. When this comes back around, where I see you kind of responding to these truth bombs, I don't know. Possibly Libra season. I know, heartbreak, no shit. I saw that. Possibly Libra season. There's such a heavy emphasis here on justice. Could be some activity now here in Leo season. I don't know ultimately what this looks like, and neither will you until you start engaging in it. Yeah, inner child healing. I know, for you and probably them as well. Particularly when it comes to expectations and really working hard for someone's love, when that's the thing, you really shouldn't have to feel like you're doing that. That's an inner child thing, you know? That sense of, I always feel like I need somebody's approval, or I really, really, really want that person's approval, so we fixate on it, or we really want that one person's love. And we could forsake anyone else in our life, but for some reason we become fixated on that one person. I really want their approval, or I really want that one's love. Otherwise I'm an Emperor and King of Pentacles, and I know I would never do that except this one person. And that's inner child healing stuff. You know what I mean? You don't need anyone's approval but you. Everything begins with the self. Okay? There you go. And this person might represent all signs of old wounds, honey, from childhood. Karmic lessons, signs from nature. Yeah, there's definitely lessons to be learned in all this. Manifesting and dazed and confused, that's exactly what this person's like. Or at least that's what their opening was like. It's like they're manifesting, but they don't know what. Again, you can't just say, I want, and then not know what the hell you want. You can't just say, I want some feeling, but no, I don't. I'm not looking for feelings, but I actually kind of want them. That's what this person needed to transform, is to get themselves out of this fuzzy, confusing ass, non-specific Seven of Cups that's like an option in love, to no, transform. We're not doing options. We're not playing. Figure it out. What does your heart tell you you want from this situation, or Capricorn? And in Capricorn, honey, you had this thing where I think you kind of put yourself in this position where you lost sight of your own sense of self-worth and love. So it can put you back in touch with it and trust yourself again, you know. But yeah, let's go over here to, okay, let's do some, release the need to control the situation. The less, the less attachment you put into this, time will do its job, and it will come back through when it needs to. For some of you, 2 months from now. Yeah, what did I say about Libra season? Yeah, that's about 2 months from now. And then for some of you, there might have been some very important activity last December or this upcoming December. Okay. Okay. T, R, Q, Feather, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and then Dragon in reverse, someone who lacks that kind of oomph, the passion, the drive, or the determination, or the sheer will to do what they need to do. Someone who's shy with their fire energy, someone who's not comfortable with claiming or stepping into their power. Okay. Again, double dragon. You don't have that problem. Also, you might have some very strong Aries in your chart. The wreath signifying the world, and then also again December might have been a critical period. The last December or this upcoming December, but also again the indication of the world. As one cycle closes, another opens, and then we also have the medallion of Taurus. Okay, okay. I think yeah, that's good. Ooh. But that was a loud crack. Sorry. Please acknowledge me. I wasn't thinking. Okay. I remember every detail of that day. I wasn't thinking. Rejected emotions and we didn't know it. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know what to say. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking about how I was saying was going to impact me or you. I wasn't as thoughtful. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. I wasn't as thoughtful in that situation or in that moment as I should have been. I just knew I wanted, but I wasn't clear on what. I didn't know what I was trying to emotionally express. That's one of the things I needed to transform and why I needed to time out. Please acknowledge me. There is a fear here that if we try to re-engage, the other person will not acknowledge what I'm saying today. You actually do stop and listen. You intuitively, you feel like you're supposed to. I actually agree with that. I don't disagree with it. I think you're correct. There's something here about very strongly needs the adjustment. Intuitively, I think you feel the same. I don't know who this is to you. I don't know what I'm describing. It could be a very intense situation with a family member, friend. I don't know. The only thing that you seem to be really mad about is lying to yourself about the time, energy, and effort that you put into this particular love cup and how it might have meant nothing. You don't know, and that's one of the things that you have to heal yourself towards. Okay? And it wasn't for nothing, by the way. It was for something. You both had transformation principles that needed to take effect. Point is, it did its job, at least for you. You're back on your particular road or path as you see fit. And for those of you who are rightfully, respectfully manifesting an answer, it will come. But I see the manifestation more coming from this person's side in order to do something and or address it. Whatever that is. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.